When she first asked me to read in the series, I was very excited for a few different reasons, but mostly I do go through many different disciplines, and I feel that poetry is a way to give life to many different genres. So I'll be reading work tonight that's mostly inspired by visual art, some actual paintings, some artists, and the last poem will be a poem that I wrote specifically for the occasion, inspired by one of the pieces in the art show right now. So we'll start. Did I tell you about the beautiful bird you could never see, whose feathers were so beautiful that while they colored him, they also contained him with what he was and what he wanted to be, making it impossible to see him when he would find a beautiful sky, and would stay only in the beautiful sky, and only if you waited for the beautiful sun to leave. Only when the sky was ugly could you see, where beauty had covered what beauty could never be. In line with what? At odds with what heaven must be. Sharp angle to my height, a question. Could that be it, a question? Here, on this momentary point, my view is tiny, to whatever answer waits. There is a rotating shadow circles my pen as I write, and all this surface below me seems not much for a while. Is heaven this solitary, a cave in my brain? If in it already, what one thing more makes it heaven? Nothing here, says it. No one, my pen, I suppose, is heaven. Easy this question. What makes what I have a start? In an outline of morning, day appears. In the hills of Mojacar, a drawing of your profile appears. Over the mountain, turning 3/4 as if just awake, the outline of your cheeks against the clouds, coming towards me where I sit by the cactus and almond trees, underneath the sun, the suddenly cloudless sky. As you stand right over me, your hand towering over mine, a quick glance below, I wave hello. You wave back and continue, walking across the desert, gigantic steps, slowly across texture and terrain, over entire hills. Each foot disappears into the next. A mile away, you reach another mountain. You bend down in a porous gesture. You wash your face with sand from the mountaintop. You stand up, face the sun, and let your magnificent hair flow across the valley. The drawing continues to erase, redraw, and erase itself. With every movement, your arms erase themselves and reappear with your hands, shielding your eyes. Your torso erases itself and reappears facing me. I wave good morning from my seat. A mile away, you erase yourself and appear again. Waving back, you continue like this, taking another step towards another mountain, the blue sky, a clear slate for every new drawing. Your hair continues to flow in the valleys and treetops. You step over more mountains, across the desert, miles away. I can see right through your every drawing, gigantic slow steps into the fading atmosphere, strong legs, shoulders, your slow, long limbs, redrawing themselves. Step by step, you remain as clear to me as one insatiable stroke across an ever-expanding sky. The best asks the most. In a recurring artist party, I ask if his art is for sale. His dreads grow longer as he smiles and says, "Which one?" I left the party but came back to answer. "It's the tree with little speakers on it, titled What You Can't Have." "Everyone wants that one," he says. "I have it in orange or brown." The next night it happens again. His head is shaved again. No one has asked him yet. "Show me where," he says. I look for the sculpture, but it's a drawing now, with too many people in the way. "That one, I think, but I've lost him in the crowd." The next night he's wearing a sign with words I can't read. "Are you selling your art?" I ask. "Read the sign," he says. I leave the party but come back. Hardly anyone is left and the music is loud. "I don't want your sign, I want your art. If I could turn, I would show you," he says. The next night I can't see his face underneath his hair. "It's like this at the start," he says. "I'd like to know something," I say. But a wave of people take him away. I leave and someone says, "This one is my favorite." I try to come back, but I can't enter. His hair has filled the room, and no one can move. The next night, I'm distracted, but congratulate him again. He strokes his goatee and shakes my hand. Are you selling your art, I ask. He smiles and turns the music up. Which one, he points. The one I can't have, I say, trying to outsmart him. Better if you leave now, he says. A dog named Tarantula echoes a mountain. Outside the mountain, the echo. Introduction. If a man and a procession of one, minus the one, split from a river called water, in 10 by cadavers as calm barriers, replace the outer shell with what feels right. Plus one, older or squared in hues by brink, dino thing. Salamander crystals direct jeweled tellers into not getting the weight of pictures, the light of telling. Minus toll affection felled in sponging elektrischke. Contrast minus the lesser spleck of hermaphroditic gene pools. Act 1. If portrait turned into 8 minus failure sonnet, neo-hun, spot super T on horse-faced pinups, crafted of sin, shade or shape, satyr harvest, idol status, eliminate illusion, illuminate person light. Sensibility masculine, minus your yellow torrent boy, born of summer, your several others, your feminine youngling, pig bone strobe light, plus young men embarked on fossil rock. Intermission. If grouped microphonic filigree, if spectre shimmering white ceremony blasted blue plastique, villa maker. In transportation, I speak to the servant, the old, the new, digitator bag, fly dent. Sky desk, rhythmistic melodiere, minus worm punked. Most sanest figure, pissed by 6 for hysterected mess, your sort of soul, your rev susict. Stranded plus existented, your self-effacement orbed in weight by volume. Act 4. If other mirrored privat masculine, if minus portalict. Exponent, fascistic con, tapping dry the well. If man minus the one writes to who he says goodbye to, shall get up, will have odd faith in ending. I speak kilowatt familia, telepathy quadrant, drowsy linear. I am finite in the multitudes. All it renews, in fire and sea, a zero where a joker may be. Suffer, recitict, snapper. Coloristic titivation, saxophone. Your animal sac, your different bone. Rational the form, invent the mimismic. Epilogue. Overlooked is instrument, not thought, not form. Invent the instrument. Lose the spirit. Is not thing. Mystery prize. Let me tell you something about arriving. It only means you're not where you used to be. The same corner is the square, the shore, the shore. Zabat bop zabata, sabat bop sabata. The square is a bop, the square, the shore. Not the same as it was, the same isn't the same square. Solced on its side, on its corner, diametrically opposed to its rectilinear angle, the shore's angle, the angle of the shore, angle, the shore's angle, the angle of the shore, angle, the shore's angle, the angle of the shore. Ba-bet, ba-bet. The sound of the center of the square, the point of the soul of the square, with a ba 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 be bo ba 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 bo be bo, and it pushes the sound towards the end, towards the edges, towards the corner of the square, towards the shore, the shore. The sound of the center pushes the empty into the edge. The empty that was in the center of the square is now on the corners. The shore is the same. The shore is the same. Bap, 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 dap, the dap, dap sounds of the corners make dap, the dap, dap sounds of the empty in the middle. The shore. The shore is the angle. The intermission clown. The man, the woman, the dog, the ball. The black man, the white woman, the black dog, the red ball. Not once did I mention the relationship between the man and the dog. Never the lover, the ball, nor the woman kissed the man before the ball returned by dog. Nor did I bother with waves or ocean or beach, the sun hitting the hair of the woman. As the man came close to her cheek, the dog caught in the sun by the ball's returning gaze. Never do we learn how intimate the man has been with the woman or the dog. How long have they been in each other's lives, arms? What is the ball's relationship to the dog, to the color, new or favorite, the same could be said as red? And not once have I mentioned that the dog belongs to the woman or the man or the black or the beach, and the woman trying to escape the man's grasp, and this a prelude to a breakup in a matter of minutes. The ball in the red mouth, a transition in orbit, the shoreline baked in golden sandstorms, blue waves on a fading shift of ardent erosion. Nor do we smell the way they both ignore the dog, joyously retrieving the ball from the ocean. And what about the manner in which this viewer came upon them? How I used walk to cross that part of the telling, that obvious alert into when we enter and when we go, the porous weight that follows echo, trailing talk behind each tiny summit of rock, strewn with reminders of what belongs together, catching the sighs of sirens before they drift apart, the travel to never be in the giant size of things. Never did I mention how they all tried to become the other, the man, the woman, the man, the dog, the ball, the dog, the secret of each other's knowing, the red, the black, the white, the gold, unearthed in my viewing. Nor did I allow my witness a true flight, a risen consequence from the pit of what I brought with me, my history attached to theirs, in alignment with my telling. And when did I leave out how I left? Where in this story is the time or position of the shoreline's pass? Every change affecting its greeting, each wave another frame, another stone. And in what I've just told you, did I ever mention thought or gift or carnival? The horizon's volume, relived as a tremor, doing its vertical remember in you, its impulse for legs, to stand apart from perspective and light, to walk in the telling of things.